Hello everyone. In this video, we will study about planning, its features, advantages and disadvantages, its types, planning process. Then we study components of planning, and at the end, we do discussion on MBO and decision making. So let's start with the definition of planning. According to Knoots and Doniel, it is deciding in advance what to do, how and when to do it, and who is to do it. Basically, planning is thinking and deciding today what to do in future. So, it's a future oriented activity. It bridges the gap between where we are and where we want to go. It involves formulation of objectives, programs, and course of actions, development of schedules, and delegation of responsibilities for their implementation. It includes determination of all kinds of decisions and actions necessary for the attainment of organizational goals. Now, we study the features of planning. Primary function is the first feature of planning. It is the first and the foremost function of management. All the other functions of management comes later. It serves as a guide for all subsequent functions. Then the next one is planning is pervasive. It means it is required in all kinds of organizations at all levels. Maybe its nature and scope may vary from organization to organization, but it is required in all the organizations. The next feature is future oriented. Planning is futuristic in nature, and all the action plans are made for the future. It involves forecasting and predicting the future trends. Thus, planning is based on forecasting and is done for the future. The next feature is goal oriented. Planning seeks to achieve organizational goals. In the absence of goals and objectives, no organization can ever thought about planning. Goals provide a sense of direction, and without them, individual efforts and energies will go misguided and misdirected. Then, planning is a continuous process. It's a never ending function. The plans are made for specific time and purpose, and at the end of that time, new plans needs to be prepared. Planning never comes to an end till the enterprise exists. And the last function is flexibility. Since planning is done for the future and in dynamic environment, so it must provide enough room to cope up with unforeseen changes. The plans of action must be revised and updated to make it more practical. Now, we study the advantages of planning. The first advantage is attainment of objectives. Plans helps the organization to achieve their objectives. The entire attention of the management is to attain objectives, and for that they plan various activities. The next advantage is it minimizes uncertainties. Planning involves forecasting and predictions, which helps the organization in understanding what is going on in the environment. By doing this, an organization plans their actions and decisions in a better way. Then, planning brings better coordination. Planning is done to achieve organizational objectives which are common for all the departments. It avoids duplication of efforts and leads to better coordination. When all move in the same direction, coordination is facilitated. Next advantage is it encourages innovations and creativity. While doing planning, the suggestions from managers are invited on how to improve the performance. It encourages the managers to think out of the box and use their imagination to come up with creative ideas and methods. The last advantage is it facilitates control. Planning describes when, what, and how to do things. Thus, It helps in setting performance standards. When the task is completed, the actual work is compared with the set standards and deviations are found out and rectified. Now, we do discussion on disadvantages of planning. The first one is it is time consuming process. Planning is not a one shot activity. It involves series of steps, especially when there are large number of alternatives available. Thus, planning is not suitable in those situations when quick decisions are required. The next disadvantage is it is expensive. Planning requires huge money for gathering and analyzing the information, and due to this reason, many small organizations cannot afford the use of planning. Then it fails in dynamic environment. Planning is done for the future which is uncertain, and a change in the external environment makes the current plans ineffective, and it therefore said that planning does not guarantee success in dynamic environment. The another disadvantage is it makes the organization rigid. Planning involves prior determination of policies and procedures and programs which needs to be implemented strictly in the organization. There is no scope for individual freedom and thus it brings inelasticity and rigidity. The last disadvantage of planning is external factors may reduce its utility. Apart from internal factors, a change in the external factors affects the planning adversely and makes it ineffective. Moving to the new topic, that is types of planning. The plans are of various types and it depends upon various bases. Like plans can be formal and informal. The formal plans are written in formal way while informal plans are unwritten and depict the thinking of the managers. Then, in terms of durations, plans are short term and long term. Long term plans are made for a period of more than 5 years. It deals with technological and competitive aspects of the organization, whereas short term plans are for less than 2 years. They are considered as tactical plans and includes inventory planning, employee training, and so on. The next basis is levels of management. Levels of management divides planning into three categories, that is strategic planning, intermediate planning and operational planning. Strategic planning is the one which is done at a top level. It includes formulation of long-term plans and policies. This type of planning defines the future of an organization and is usually done for long term. Intermediate planning is done by middle level managers. The purpose of this type of planning is to decide how to implement and execute top management's order in the organization. The time frame for this type of planning ranges from 6 months to 2 years. Operational plans are prepared by lower level managers. They are formulated to keep the business running and their time duration ranges between 1 week to 1 year. The next type of plans are standing plans and single use plans. Standing plans are the one which are designed to be used again and again. The examples of standing plans are policies, procedures, methods, and rules. They are also called routine plans, whereas single use plans are formulated for a specific goal or event and get exhausted after the completion of that event. Budgets, projects, and schedules are the examples of single use plans. They are also called specific plans and usually are for short duration. The next topic is component of planning. Components of planning includes objectives, strategies, policies, procedures, methods, rules, budgets, and programs, which we will discuss one by one. Objectives are the endpoints which management seeks to achieve by its operations. They define the purpose of the entire organization and serves as a guide for overall business planning. Strategies are the action plans which defines how an organization will achieve their objectives. They are prepared by keeping in mind the movement of competitors and its purpose is to optimum utilization of resources. Policies are general statements which are prepared for the guidance of the employees while taking a decision. They guide the managerial actions and decisions in implementation of strategy. Procedures are more specific plans that determines the sequence of a particular act. It includes step-by-step methods to be followed in a particular circumstances. Methods defines how different activities of a procedure are to be completed. They show the working of a single step of a procedure and are usually more detailed than procedures. Rules are specific statements that inform what is to be done and what is not to be done in a particular situation. Without rules, there is no need to take any decision. Budgets are the plans which are described in monetary terms. It is a plan which quantifies future facts and figures. It is useful tool for planning and controlling. And the last one is programs. These are single use plans laying down what, how, who, and when of accomplishing the specific job. It contains series of methods, procedures, and policies that an organization needs to implement. It has a fixed timetable for each step. Moving to the next topic, that is planning process. Planning is called a process because while planning, a manager has to pass through many stages one after the another. The number of steps included in planning process depends upon the nature and the size of the organization. Planning function of management includes the following steps. The first step in planning process is identify goals. Goals and objectives tell what is to be achieved through planning. They provide nucleus to the planning process. Moreover, objectives focus the attention of managers on the end results to be achieved. Therefore, objectives should be stated in clear, precise, and in simple language. The next step in planning process is developing planning premises. Planning premises are the assumptions about the lively shape of events in the future. They serve as a basis of planning. They are concerned with determining where one tends to deviate from the actual plans and causes of such deviations. Establishment of planning premises is concerned to take such steps that avoid these obstacles to a great extent. The next step is identifying alternative course of action. Once the objectives are set and assumptions are made, the managers needs to find out the alternative methods of doing a particular work. The next step is evaluation of alternatives. In this step, every alternative is evaluated in terms of its pros and cons in light of resources available and requirement of the organization. All those alternative courses which are up to the expectations of a minimum criteria are selected for intensive study. Selection of alternative is the next step in planning process. After the careful analysis, the best alternative is selected. Keeping in mind the uncertainties of future, it is justifiable to select more than one good alternative. One such alternative is adopted and the other one is kept in reserve. The last step in planning process is formulation of derivative plans. Derivative plans are the sub-plans which helps in the achievement of main plan. Secondary plans will flow from the basic plan and are meant to support the basic plans. The next topic in planning function is MBO, that is management by objectives. MBO is a philosophy and a technique of management. It provides a rational and a systematic approach to management wherein The managers and their subordinates, by consultation, set up each other's goals, which are measurable, and the contribution of each individual is judged in terms of such goals. In nutshell, it is a process of setting goals for the employee so that he knows what he needs to do at a workplace. It also defines the roles and responsibilities of an employee and guides them to deliver their best to achieve the targets. The new topic is why MBO is needed or why MBO is required in the organizations. MBO helps the employees in understanding their duties at workplace. It helps the organization in finding out the key result areas for every employee. It helps an employee in understanding what is expected from them. MBO leads to satisfied employees. It ensures effective communication in the organization and results in highly motivated and committed employees. MBO sets a benchmark for every employee against which his performance will be. MBO process is the next topic. MBO process starts with the determination of organizational goals, which provides direction to the entire organization, and the development of organization depends on the defined goals. So, it is an important activity which requires a lot of discussions and brainstorming. The next step is to determine the employee's objective. Determining the objectives of the employees is the responsibility of a manager, and for that, he needs to study and understand every employee's strengths and weaknesses and key result areas. Then, the next step is constantly monitoring the employee performance. The manager, after defining the duties of employees, needs to monitor their performance to check whether he performs as per the set standards or not. After monitoring the performance, the manager needs to evaluate the employee performance. This evaluation can be done simultaneously while doing a job, or it can be done after a task is completed. Plus, this evaluation can be done on regular intervals or after a certain period of time. Once the evaluation is done, the performance feedback is shared with an employee, which helps them in understanding their strong and weak areas. The last topic in planning function is decision making, its process and types. Decision making is an important component of management process and manager's life is full of decisions. Every action and step of a manager is a decision. A decision represents a judgment or a commitment and decision making is a process to arrive to that judgment. Decision making process is a new topic and it starts with identifying the problem. In this step, the decision maker must identify what exactly is the problem, which parties are affected by the problem, and does the problem have a specific deadline or not. After the problem is identified and formulated, the manager has to develop potential alternatives. It involves looking at what alternatives are available to achieve goals. A manager can use modern techniques like operations research to develop alternatives. Once the alternatives are identified, the decision maker will take each alternative and try to set them in scale of most feasible to the least feasible with the help of certain criteria. After analyzing alternatives, the decision maker will select the best alternative after considering various factors like risk, cost, and time involved. The last step is the execution of decisions and it requires the implementation of decisions into actions. And for that, the decision maker should effectively communicate it with the subordinates and it must be accepted by them as well. The last topic in decision making is its types. The decisions can be strategic or routine in nature. Routine decisions are taken frequently to achieve high degree of efficiency in the operations. Strategic decisions are crucial in nature and require more funds, and managers' involvement. Programmed decisions are routine and repetitive decisions. Such decisions do not require a lot of evaluation or in depth study. Non programmed decisions are one shot decisions that are less structured. These decisions are taken up by the top executives. Then the next one is policy and operating decisions. Policy decisions are taken up by the top level management to change rules, procedures, or organizational structures. Operational decisions are taken up by low level management, which affects day to day operations of the organization. And with this, we are done with the planning function topic. For suggestions and feedback, you can write us at usefulstudymaterial@gmail.com. For more videos and updates, subscribe to our channel. Thank you.